Vasa Vancas, que bella.
Ah, Vengas, ciao bella. I gotta say, I only know how to say a few things in Italian, and they are all swear words, because my roommate in college was Italian, and we would play FIFA and Halo we would play against each other, and every time he would lose, he would swear at me in Italian, and I don't even know if this is safe to say on the airwaves, but fuck it. I'm just gonna say, che cazzo, Maria stronzo della merda puttana marafanculo.
That's not true. That's not true, Brian. You also know how to say something else that I screamed at Max Verstappen when he passed Carlos Sainz. Attenzione, pickpockets! Attenzione, pickpockets! Hundreds of thousands of Italians probably screaming that.
Attenzione, Varavatici! Attenzione, pickpockets!
Stealing Ferrari's glory at Monza at their home track.
Yes.
Oh my God! I know last race was technically a better race, but this was a better race.
Yeah,
this was the best race of all time. This was the best race of all time.
This was so sick.
This might not have been the best race because it was another Max win, but this was my favorite race. It was my favorite. I could not stop smiling during this race.
Well, there was so much fucking wheel-to-wheel. I mean, these boys were fucking like flirting all day. They were just like, "Oh, here's my left. Oh, let me kiss your tire." They were
bumping hips.
They were fucking. You know when we were kids and it was like the bar mitzvah was the best or the worst based off how much the parents would let you grind. That was like the barometer. Like parents would spend so much money on these bar mitzvahs, but they'd be stuffy and there'd be like no dance floor for the little horny 13-year-old. But then sometimes they would let you grind, and then you were like, that was a great bar mitzvah. But sometimes that was like a cheap, shitty bar mitzvah.
By that metric, the best bar mitzvah for me was I was grinding with remember?
Of course.
And then the song was over, and she was like, that was really fun. And I was like, ugh. And I was like, is that a bass? Is that a bass that she grinded on my little dick and I almost came?
I think that what that was, Matt, was the Monza GP, because this GP they were just grinding up on each other, baby. Yeah, it was sexy.
It was amazing. I mean, this has been such a respite from my family vacation. I'm here with my family. I forgot some of the annoying things they do. My sister, whenever she goes to pee, she says, I got to squirt.
That's a tough one.
It's rough. She's autistic. And I say, Samantha, do you have to say that? And she goes, I try to explain to her the connotations of that. And she goes, well, I'll only say it around you guys. I'm like, great. So now just whenever she has to pee, she goes, I gotta go squirt.
I'm going to start saying that. Normalize piss as squirt. But speaking of squirting, we got to thank our daddies of the pod. We got to thank Kayla, Robin, Jordan Texera, Jay Lingle, Spencer Grieve, Javier Mera, Sheila Valeri, Chandler, Luana Galvano, Ali Santana, Carla Warlow, Kimberly Whalen, Alonso Over My Face 69, Donya Denad, Jimmy, Muhammad Patel, Kimmy, sponsored by Mommy of the Pod, Michael Juracy, Hollister 584, Liv Lott, Kat, one of our newest daddies, and Ben Curris, who it's also Ben's birthday. So happy birthday, Daddy. Thank you all to our daddies. We'd be nowhere without you. If you want to become a daddy of the pod, you can go to patreon.com/TRFpod, and you can be our benefactor, and we will say thank you, Daddy, every single sexy little week. Also, more, cleanup duty. We're doing a show in Austin. October 22nd at 9:30 or 10 p.m. We're still locking down the specifics, but if you're going to be in Austin, Sunday night after the race, we're doing a show. Fucking be there, okay?
Leave
be there
on Monday. Square. Don't leave on Sunday.
That's what it's all about. So let's get in to this fucking sexy GP.
Tell me we got it. Tell me we got it. We got it. We did it, Joe. We did it.
Yeah, you're gonna be on pole in Monza, Joe.
Tell me we did it. I'm like, this is really bad for business, honestly. This is horrible for business.
Yeah.
Horrible for business. I mean, it's kind of like one of those things where he could win 9 world championships from here on in. I just gotta dig in.
Yeah, you're gonna die on the hill.
I'm dying on the hill.
You're gonna die on the hill of Carlos Sainz sucks. Clearly,
I have to. I'm in too deep.
Clearly, Carlos Sainz has been listening to the podcast because he came in this weekend and he was ready to play from P1, FP1, dude. He had Leclerc's number this whole weekend.
Well, you know what? I just to give some perspective. I mean, by this metric, like Carlos beating the shit out of Leclerc this week, or beating Leclerc this week, by you would think, if we're going to apply what people are doing with this result here with Carlos, if we're going to apply that to other things, then I guess George Russell's just way better than Lewis Hamilton, right?
Right, sure.
Because he outqualified Lewis and did better than Lewis, and Lewis was thought of as the greatest of all time. So does that make George Russell the greatest of all time because he did better than him in one race?
But there's something about the fact that it's in Monza. Like, if this had happened in
Daniel Ricciardo beat Lando Norris in Monza in like one of the most humiliating seasons of his career. It's like, this track is weird. It's a weird track where you got to nail the setup, and there's not a lot of break. It's like, it's not a lot of slow corners. It's very flowy and rhythmic, and it's not very technical. It's just all about you can just get hot. You can get hot in this track and just nail the setup, and that's it.
Yeah, let's not forget that Nick DeVries got a seat in Formula One because he performed well at Monza. So Monza can be a little bit.
Gasly won here, right?
Yeah,
weird
right.
shit happens at this track.
Yes.
And you said it yourself. You're Brian. You're like, I think this is an easy track. You're like, I think I could do this track.
Well, Monza is the only track that I can actually play on the video game.
Thank you, because you're flat most of it.
Yeah, because you're flat for most of it, and it's like they have the fewest turns of any Formula One track. It's the third oldest track in all of racing. I think in all of motorsport.
101 years old.
Yeah, it is the third oldest track in the entire world of for motorsport. It's hollowed fucking ground. Ascari, who Max beat Ascari's record today. He also, Vettel was tied. They were all tied at 9. Max beat Ascari. There's the Ascari chicane. Ascari actually died at Monza. Did you know that?
I didn't know that it was at Monza.
He didn't die during a F1 race. He died during like a testing thing, and he wasn't supposed to race that day, or he wasn't supposed to get into the car, so he got in like his suit and tie, and then lost control of the car and then died. Yeah, it's a legendary track, but I guess the vibe, and here's why today feels like kind of why it feels significant. It's because like it's the Italian GP. This was the best.
No,
the car looked the best.
You know why I feel significant is because Carlos Sainz fans are fucking delusional, and they forgot last year when the car was good and it was fast. He was nowhere fucking close. It was embarrassing. It was fucking embarrassing.
Aren't you embarrassed?
Okay. So, yes, he did better this one weekend. It fucking happens. All right?
He is beating Leclerc in the points.
Oh, my God. And Ocon beat Fernando. All right? It's just like, I'm so sick of these idiots that say, he's beating him in the points. Do you watch the races? Just watch the season last year. Watch, right? Do you have eyes? Do you watch the races? Anyway, yeah, he did better than him this weekend, and Charles Leclerc has this thing where if he's not first, he's last. And Carlos Sainz has a thing where he's like, I just want to beat my teammate, right?
Right.
He doesn't have the eye of the tiger. People were like, oh, even in his most alpha moments, right? Silverstone and this moment, he is begging his team for mercy, right? He is begging. He's like, so pathetic. Even when he's awesome, he's pathetic, right? He's telling people that he was intimidated by Perez, right? And he's like, come on, guys, let's bring this home, right?
Yeah.
Let's bring this home. We could do this, right?
Yeah.
Like real gangsters, like Oscar Piastri, like a couple of weeks ago when he got fucked on the strategy with Lando, which we'll talk about extensive for hours later. But when he got undercut by Lando, he was like, and he's behind Lando. He goes, "So what are we doing? We racing? Like what are we doing?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just asked the question, right? He's not complaining.
Right.
He's just like, what it is, dog.
Yeah.
And Carlos is like, "Come on, like we think of the team, like please let me bring this home." Like he's lame. He's lame. Like if he was a killer and Charles Leclerc was coming at him, he's like, I would have been like, so that's how homie wants to play it? Like, even in his most baller ass moments, he's politicking. He's working it. Whereas Charles Leclerc, when he hears no risk, in his head, he also heard no reward. And then he fucking goes for it. Because Charles Leclerc doesn't give a fuck, dude. He doesn't give a fuck.
He's like, I'll blow out all 4 of my tires in the last lap of this fucking race after you told me to not race him. I don't care.
I just signed a $150 million contract. That's $1,000 for every single Ferrari fan that's here, basically. I will crash out in front of all these people. I do not give a fuck. That's some king shit right there.
Yeah.
That is sociopathy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what you're hearing right now and watching right now is a man who was proven wrong and can't accept it this weekend.
No. I'm saying he did great, but even in his greatest moment, I can like nitpick. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Hey,
where
there's a will, there's a way. But
I can find bitch-made moments.
Yes, for sure.
They're there. Am I crazy?
No, when he was like, let's just bring it home, guys. Come on. Like, I was like, dude, come on.
Let's just think about what's best for the team. Please.
I mean, them racing, the 2 Ferraris fucking going at it at the end of the race, it was really like Mitch and Abby and Ella B in this season of Love Island, because like you think the race is over, you think the season's done after Casa Amor, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, all of a sudden this is the most interesting thing that's happened. But I thought this race was fucking done. Max is sailing off into the distance, and then all of a sudden these people that you didn't think there was going to be drama between, all of a sudden there's drama between them. I mean, the battle between the 2 Ferrari boys I was on the edge of my seat.
It was I couldn't stop smiling.
Yeah.
I could not stop smiling. My face hurt at the end of that race. And I was like, are they about to fuck this up? You know,
if they had crashed into each other, it would have made this race the check greatest race of all time. Like that would have been fucking unreal. If the 2 Ferraris had taken each other out, it would have been so fucking beautiful and poetic and fucking like biblical. It would have just been beautiful if that had happened.
Yeah.
But you know what? It didn't happen, and we still got a thrilling final 5 minutes. They barely even showed Max crossing the fucking finish line.
Who cares?
But this is a historic victory for Max. Max, this is a historic victory in Formula One.
Toto says, "Who cares?" Like we only read about it in Wikipedia. Who reads it about it? He's such a bitch, dude.
Dude, Toto, it's like all of Toto's stats are only things that you would fucking read on Wikipedia. It's like, what are you talking about, Toto? Every fucking stat in Formula One is a bullshit stat like that.
Read on Wikipedia, exactly. So, like, I guess your 7 world champion, like, dominant runs, those are just things in history. That's all that it is. Right. That's all that all of it is just shit that is on your Wikipedia page after you die.
Yeah, it's just a thing in a book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Napoleon, that's just a fucking guy in a book, dude.
What Toto's really saying there is like, they don't pass the vibe check. The reality is they don't pass the vibe check.
They don't have Lewis. I have Lewis.
And I have me. And it's like, you fucking suck, dude. Like,
he sucks, dude.
Listen, I'll tell you, Lewis has more fucking vibes than Max, but Christian Horner has so many more fucking vibes than Toto Wolff. Are you fucking kidding me?
Here's the thing. Christian's doing it all by his goddamn self. Like, we've said this before. Toto, if you replaced Lewis with Mick Schumacher, right? Or Nick DeVries or any of those other Mercedes boys. Toto Wolff is nothing. That brand sucks, dude.
Yeah.
That's a shitty fucking German brand.
Yeah, I mean, the Ferrari thing was so thrilling that they were like, oh, fuck, Max is winning the 10th. Oh, Max is winning the race, the 10th fucking win in a row. This is a historic thing. Back to the Ferrari boys. Like, it was incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fucking sick. But nobody cares about like the actual moment of Max crossing the finish line. You know what I mean? That actual moment you could talk about later.
Sure.
But the present moment of this Ferrari fiasco was insane. Yeah. It was amazing.
There was a stat that was like that they threw up on the on the TV that was like Carlos Sainz led after he got passed by Verstappen on lap 15. They're like, Carlos Sainz led this GP for 15 laps. That's the most any team besides Red Bull has led any race this year.
It's so sad.
It's
so sad.
But here's the thing. Is it sad? Because I guess here's my perspective. I'm a Mets fan. I'm a Jets fan. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a Rangers fan. My life as a sports fan has been nothing but pain and misery. I didn't get on the LeBron James train when it was fucking rolling. I always root for the underdog, and I'm viewing my time as a Formula One fan of being like, what if I was a Yankees fan? So the first year I was like, let me root for Lewis. Guess what? Didn't fucking work out.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I've always been a hater when the greatness comes. And I'm just like, at this point in my life, I'm like, why don't I just fucking bask in the greatness of Max? And this season, I want him to win the rest of the races.
No.
I want him to win out.
Well, because we just learned to ignore it and can enjoy the other things. But also, like, now I realize, like, why Ben Shapiro and those people exist. Because it's so fun to be a contrarian, right?
Right.
But we get to be contrarians about things that don't matter. Like, it's so fun to be like, Max is the greatest. And everyone's like, God! Yeah!
But Max is, like, undeniably great. It's like, we're not
No, Brian. No, he sucks. He's the worst. Ew.
But no one thinks that he's bad. I mean, some people think that he's like chaotic.
It's just the car, Brian. It's just the car. And Checo's wheels are made out of, they're just cement. They're cement blocks that are painted black.
Right.
Idiot. And they're cheating. That's there, dude. That's there.
Yeah, well, of course that's there. I mean, that's gonna be there. But at this point, I don't think that like anyone is like, yeah, Max sucks at driving. But I think it's like, listen, he's gonna win the championship. That's a conclusion. That's been a conclusion since fucking week 1, basically. Like, why not have him win? Why not want him to win the fucking rest of the races?
No, at this point, you want the Joe DiMaggio record of, like,
right?
How much can he do?
Just witness the fucking greatness.
Yeah.
Be a fan of like LeBron on the Heat. Watch them fucking dominate. Like, watch
or have
fucking
Yuki
Steph
win
Curry.
one. Or have Yuki win one.
Yeah, right. The only person at this point of the season that I would allow to win a race and break Max's fucking streak is Yuki Tsunoda, who got fucked today.
And I think Max would be okay with it too.
Yeah, of course, because Yuki's a fucking ledge who didn't get his chance today. He would have gotten the points. He would have gotten the points. Liam Lawson was what, 12th? If Yuki was in there, he would have definitely gotten points.
Yeah, he definitely gotten points. Yuki would have definitely got points. We didn't have a partnership with BetMGM. That we'll talk about that later. But I was looking at the betting. He was. I'm thinking about. Well, I can't do it because I'm in California. But I was thinking about dropping $1 on you because he was 100,000 plus 100,000
to win the race.
Mm-hmm. You just throw $1 on Yuki every race.
Mm-hmm.
He wins once. That's $1,000. You put 1,000 on Yuki. He wins. You're a millionaire. And I was tempted, dude. I was fucking tempted.
Yeah, put $10 on Yuki to win every single race, and you'll be 102 one.
And you'll be $230 lighter by the end of the season.
Well, who gives a shit? You fucking put your heart and your cash where your fucking heart was. All right, let's discuss more of this fucking race.
I love the start of it. The start of the race, first of all the drivers are under umbrellas. They're like panning across the drivers under umbrellas.
Yeah.
Just Max, no umbrella, just raw dogging the sun, staring directly into the sun like Donald Trump in the eclipse. It was so amazing. It was so like this guy is just on another planet.
Well, he's so pale that light actually doesn't hit him at all. It just immediately reflects off of his skin.
Yeah.
And then it goes where it needs to go.
Anyway,
what were the fucking big moments of this thing? I mean, Sainz got the great jump. He held him off for as long as he could.
What was amazing was Max wasn't even worried about it really. He was just like, oh yeah, he's fucked. He's already sliding around.
Yeah, that was a fucking great moment.
It just it was so sad. He's like, oh yeah, we got this.
Well, it shows his attitude because it's like he had. I mean, on I think lap 5 or 6 when he went into turn 1 on the outside in the exact same fucking way that he went in 2021 against Lewis Hamilton, and then Sainz closed the fucking door on him, and then Max backed the fuck off, and he said, "Ooh, well, that was naughty." Completely chill, completely like I was listening. I was watching on F1, TV, and they're like, you can tell that he's smiling when he said it. That he was that was naughty.
It was so like you're wrestling with your partner who you're way stronger than. And
you're wrestling with your big brother who's like, yeah, nice try.
Nice try. Exactly.
But it was
you're not threatened by at all.
Right.
And here's the thing, and it shows like his growing maturity. Like in Silverstone, I think if we went back to 2021 Silverstone, he would have just let Lewis by because he's like, I'll get him later. I'm faster than Lewis had to get him then and there because Max had the faster package at that moment. At that point,
yeah, that's true.
So it's like this.
But he was so. But it also shows like how large Lewis loomed in his mind that season because it was like, rewind the fucking clock, and it just what that moment really showed was how little he respects Carlos Sainz.
Yeah,
because he was like, oh, whatever, I'll just get you later. If he saw Carlos Sainz as anything close to an equal, his tires on top of Carlos Sainz's head. That's just the way that it goes. That's how Max Verstappen does it. Lewis, he knew was the threat, so rewind those clocks, and we see what he does under different circumstances.
Right. Well, Lewis knew at that moment, it was like, I get him now in the beginning or he sails away. Right?
I'm talking about Monza. I'm not talking about this.
Monza. Right.
The race that happened today, Booby.
Yeah. No, but...
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's like the calculations that you make, like, okay, we can just pull out and live to fight it, and I'm faster, so I'll let him by, and I'll get him later on a straight or something with my amazing DRS. But, it just shows, it was incredible how he just let him by and was like, it's like the run down and it's like the old bull and the young bull, like let's run down and fuck one of these cows, like
right.
Why run down and fuck one when we could walk down and fuck them all?
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of his attitude, and it was
he
scary that he's learned to putt in that way.
Right.
That's like his one weakness is his temper and his Avon Barksdale from The Wire, like I want my corners all the time.
Yeah.
But I wonder if he'll be able to do that, if it's a little bit closer. If he's going to be able to have that control.
No, I don't think that if this season was at all close, if he wasn't going for a record, if he didn't know that he had just like on pace the fastest car, on race pace he had the fastest car, like the whole attitude. Everyone talks about how Max is like, he's grown. Look how he's grown. I'm like, well, he's beating the shit out of everyone. So yeah, like he's not like constantly ready to scrap when he's destroying everyone on pure pace. He's not constantly like, punching people when they wake him up.
Right.
Right. What were the other? I mean, what else? What were the other takeaways of this fucking race?
I've built Oscar Piastri outqualified Lando Norris today. He was ahead of Lando Norris, and they've done this like 3 times. Yeah. And it's kind of annoying. They just undercut him, and it kind of ruined his race. He popped out. He was behind. Then he got hit by Lewis, and I'm sure he was feeling some type of way when he came out of the pits. And he's like, "Oh, he's ahead of me now. Perfect." They crashed, right? And McLaren, and they were like, "McLaren, like, what happened there?" The FIA was like, "McLaren, what happened there?" They're like, "Nothing. What happened? They didn't. What? Huh? Who?" Because they were like, because it was funny because Brundle and Crofty were like, "Yeah, they're not going to report themselves."
Right.
And then he got hit by Lewis, and his race was ruined. And I wrote it down. He got undercut in, I think, Hungary, Spa, and I think Silverstone. They undercut him. It's just like, I don't know. I'm wondering if that's just like kind of demoralizing. Like, I get that Lando's a number 1 driver, but if you get out qualified and you're ahead, I think the driver who's ahead should get the preferential strategy.
Well, it was also maybe the driver who has more pace on race day, because Lando was bitching about Oscar. He was saying that he was quicker than him.
If you're faster, then pass him. Or, maybe go faster than him in qualifying, which he didn't. So
right, but as we know, what qualifying pace doesn't necessarily translate to race pace.
Also, and also, tons of drivers say that they're faster when they're behind them.
Of course,
you don't actually know if that's even true. Just because Lando's like, "I'm faster, let me through," doesn't necessarily mean that he is faster.
Lando has never told a lie in his entire life, so I don't know of which you speak. Yeah, I mean, Lando went in. What did he go in? He went in, let's see, 2 laps ahead of Oscar.
Yeah, and then he came out right behind him, and they crashed.
Or no, 1 lap, was it? Yeah. Yeah, 1 lap in front of him. Yeah, they pulled the undercut. Then they touched. Yeah, I mean, he's still a rookie. You still get rookie treatment a little bit. And he's Lando fucking Norris. He's still that bitch, dude.
All right.
I feel you. I think that, the politics of there, as we all know, McLaren is, as much as they're cute and as much as, Zach Brown's here trying to fuck the world for 72 hours talking wild shit in the press, it's cute, but how well is that organization run? Like, how easily can things turn sour? Daniel Ricciardo's not, was
well,
kicked out after 2 years.
I guess it's interesting. It's, I guess logically you want to have a number 1 and a number 2 driver.
Yeah.
If you're a championship team.
Right.
But if you're fucking McLaren, it's like, why? What? He's ahead. You want preferential treatment, just beat him. You have to do what's best for the team, which is the guy ahead gets the better strategy. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, I don't think I don't think Lando's had to focus. I don't think he's had to push himself. And if he's just going to be like, all right, if I get within a 10th of Oscar, I could just make it up in the race. That's not good for him either.
Sure.
If they're like, no, you want to get ahead, you want to beat Oscar, you have to fucking out-qualify him and beat him, then that'll be better for his development and make him more focused. And maybe he'll spend less time with his fucking quadrant brand. Yeah. I think it's good to have somebody push him.
I agree. I think that he is.
You agree as you're like, that's how it kind of works.
Well, I'm looking at he got 7th. It was 7th and 9th. It's not like it's not necessarily like, oh, and he beat the shit out of. It's like, if they're next to each other, I think they have more. Lando's more of the vet. They probably have a little bit more faith in Lando to bring home a good result than they do in Oscar.
Well, he's not going to bring home a better result if you undercut him. If you undercut your own driver.
Yeah, but
he will bring home a worse result.
But they're trying for, I mean, they could just do fucking team orders if they wanted to do that, I guess is what you're saying.
No, this is the same thing though. And what's interesting is like, this is why team politics gets so cancerous, right? I mean, the thing is there's pros and cons to doing it this way, because because this is why the thing at McLaren got so toxic with Lewis. I mean, this is why Fernando blackmailed his own team, right?
Yeah.
Is because
Lewis
when you're close, it's like when you're that close, when you're within a tenth of each other, like shit like that is what's going to make the difference, right? It's just being brought in a lap early is going to make the difference between finishing in the points, finishing out of the points, finishing a place or two ahead. It's just those little things. And unless you're, the team giving better strategy is going to make that difference. Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, Lando's been better on the whole. He's been better, but like the races where Oscar's outperformed him, he's been they fucked him on the strategy every time. Every single time it's happened. Because I've written it down. I'm like, oh my God. Because Oscar's had a better race position like 4 times. And every time they've switched it in subtle ways. So anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the politics of it is, you got to get in there. Got to start. As Carlos Sainz knows, because Carlos Sainz, what he does is fucking get in there with the people. He's fucking like, let me buddy up with everyone so that I can get some preferential treatment. And then he starts yelling at people. Then he starts being like, no, I'm not doing that. No, you're going to give me, come on, guys. Let's just bring it home. Let's just bring it home, boobies.
Right. And it's so much more challenging. You have to do so much more. Like, you can't just be 2 places ahead of Lando, right? You have to be 4 places ahead of Lando.
Right.
In order to get your way, essentially.
Speaking of Carlos Sainz, this is breaking news. Apparently Carlos Sainz
He lost his place. It was taken away. He cheated.
No.
Overweight, underweight.
He got his watch stolen after the race.
Ugh.
Apparently, the Spaniard was robbed of his watch at the end of the Italian GP. At the end of today's race in Monza, Carlos returned to Milan at the Armani Hotel. While he was on the street, 2 men approached him and took his watch off of his wrist, which, according to this place, appears to be worth hundreds of thousands of euros. The Spaniard, who was in the company of a bodyguard, didn't think twice. He immediately chased after the 2 robbers. Even some people who had probably recognized the pilot had a move to help him. Made a move to help him. Eventually, the robbers were joined by Sainz and blocked via this area where the police were present. The agents took the robbers into custody, who were taken away while Sainz returned to the hotel.
Damn, Sainz was feeling himself today.
Dude, Sainz was fucking feeling himself. His hair was looking sexy. He got 3rd. He fucking held off Charles. Even though the Tifosi weren't really cheering for them that loud because he had to be like, come on, like, cheer for me. The Tifosi apparently fucking helped Carlos Sainz retrieve his watch. He chased after the fucking watch and probably didn't pay attention to, the stop sign like Charles Leclerc did. What is up with these Ferrari boys getting their watches stolen? Come on, Italy. Come on, Tifosi.
I mean, it's crazy. They're like, Ferrari is like a religion. It can't be a religion if you're fucking stealing one of your 2 gods' watches. Did he run after them, or did he go, attenzione, pickpocket?
Attenzione, farabaratici.
Yeah, seems like it was a heat check moment, and he's still on fire. He's like, I fucking beat Charles Leclerc in Monza.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike Charles Leclerc, I fucking caught my thieves.
Myself.
I caught them myself.
I think this might be like the highlight of Carlos's career. I think this is like going to be.
Well, he won in Silverstone.
Yeah, but this feels more significant.
Yeah, no, he did it on track this time.
Yeah, he did it on track, and he did it in Italy.
Yeah,
like this feels like this is kind of the moment they're going to look back on and be like, that was it. Might, and you know what? Might secure him another contract at Ferrari. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's talk. Can we talk about? What do we want to talk about? Can we talk about Alexander Albon? Because this guy is just every single week, it feels like there's people all over the track. Get in line. It's the Albon train. The Albon train. People all over the track. Get behind of the Albon train. The Albon train. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, he ruins everyone's races. Everyone in the midfield is like fucked by Albon every single week because they just can't pass this kid. And he just runs a DRS train and he is in the, what's the thing where they all eat they eat shit out of each other. The Human Centipede.
Is that Human Centipede?
He's
always at the front of the Human Centipede.
He is at the front of the Human Centipede, and he eats, and everyone else eats his shit. That's what happens.
So amazing that you're so right.
Yeah,
you're so right.
Everyone is like, and they all you can tell that they're like fucking Albon. You know what I mean? Because it's like
because Albon got Piastri. Albon got past Piastri, and I was like, no. And then Piastri's like, no, please. Yeah. He's like, I can't let him pass me because once he passes me, it's only a one way. It's like one of those. It's a Roach hotel. You go in, you don't come out.
Yeah. He's there eating fucking spaghetti bolognese and fucking, Wagyu beef, and everyone has to fucking eat his shit. That's what Alexander Albon does every single race.
That's the most brilliant thing you've ever said, Brian.
I mean, people, they all hate him. He just ruins everyone's. It's like the DRS doesn't mean shit. Don't mean shit with him because that straight line speed is fucking real. And James Vowles does look like a genius because he's like they've just gone, when they created their character, they just went 100 on speed. Who cares about catching ability? Who cares about all this shit? And so they look like geniuses, but really it's just that Albon can fucking, drive.
And they always do some whack ass strategy.
Yeah.
They leave him out forever.
Right.
Yeah, no. They do what I did in Madden, where I'm like, do I care about awareness? Like, how does that actually affect? They really looked at the attributes section, and they were like, do we really need jumping ability?
Right.
How much do we? They really gamed it out. They moneyballed it.
No, Albon just fucking like that car is 1,000 feet wide. No one can get by him.
Or is Logan Sargeant the worst driver to ever live? That's also could be a possibility.
I think that Logan Sargeant is bad.
He sucks. Yeah. He really sucks.
I mean, this is the race where this was really his chance to have a good race because it's like
I think it's over for him. I think Vowles has been. I will say I talked a lot of shit yesterday, and that was one of my takes. That was like a universal we posted and everyone was like, "This is a bad team."
Yeah,
I just think he's a media whore.
Right. Yeah, he is a media whore.
The take that I said and then edited and then posted was taken out of context.
Yeah.
He's just a bit of a whore. He's just a little bit too available.
Yeah, sure.
But no, he's been very like the anti-Marco with the patience with him.
Right.
But what I didn't know, what I've read is that when Logan was part of the Mercedes driving program.
Okay.
And James Vowles was the one that was like, get rid of this guy. So James Vowles has inherited this guy at Williams.
Oh, I see. Like when he was at Mercedes.
When he was at Mercedes, he was like, get this guy out of here. But
Well,
now he's doing
yeah.
such a great job being like, we're 100% behind this, Logan.
Right, yeah.
He's been learning, he's been growing, the future is so bright.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this was his race because it's like if Williams was going to do well anywhere, it's at Monza. Like it's like if this car is built for any track, it's fucking Monza. It's also Vegas. Look out for fucking Williams to do work in Vegas. As we said, we partnered with BetMGM. They're a new partner for us. When the Vegas time comes around, smart money's on Williams. And maybe even Logan Sargeant. We'll see if he's
top 6.
Yeah. We'll see if he's even still around. Yeah. But apparently Mick Schumacher was kind of in the running to be a replacement for him, but apparently it's not looking good for him. He's still a Mercedes reserve driver, but
the crocodile tears for Mick Schumacher is Toto Wolff's crocodile tears for Mick Schumacher.
No, Toto Wolff's crocodile tears.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Toto Wolff's crocodile tears for Mick Schumacher, being like the door has been closed on him forever. Like it's so sad. If Michael was still with us, he would have been treated better at Haas. Like shame on everybody that won't give him a seat. Like it was kind of like one of the first things you said about that went viral was
right.
The audacity of Christian Horner being like, I can't believe Alex Albon doesn't have a seat.
Yeah,
it's like, bro, you have 4 seats.
Yeah,
you could give him one, dude.
Right.
And it's like, bro, you could give him a seat.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you can't. You're not going to fire Lewis or Russell. But
no, but you can't give him a seat there. But you can lean on Williams.
I mean, obviously. Oh, you think he could lean harder?
Yes.
Yeah, he owns doesn't he own like a percentage of Williams?
I think he had to give up that ownership stake, but they still provide engines for them. There's still like a feeder team for Mercedes. I mean, it's like.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He could definitely get him. I think one of those seats is a Mercedes seat.
Yeah. No, it's fucking. It's it's fucking bullshit.
Nick DeVries is looking at that Williams seat, being like, "That's a long leash. That's a long ass leash."
You're like, this guy's still in the sport.
Yeah. Okay. There were rumors that seat was on the table, and he took the AlphaTauri seat. There were like that. Who knows if that's true? I don't know if he was announced at that point, but whatever. Doesn't fucking matter. Let's No, it was Colton Herta that was supposed to go to Alpha.
Right. Yeah. Can we talk about Checo Perez? Just how many times could this guy try to make a pass at turn 1 and just go off the track? I mean, it was like as I was like watching the race back, I was kind of going through it and I was like, oh, am I at a different part? And I was like, oh no, that's just Perez going off the road again. He said that George early on
he pushed me off.
That was insane when Checo said that George pushed him off. That was crazy. I mean,
was it him that Brundle was like, by he does he mean his brakes? It's like savage. It's like nobody pushed him. Like he pushed himself off when he outbroke. He's like, yeah, broke himself.
Well, yeah, it was obvious. I mean, he went in way too hot. And so did George. They both went in too hot. They both went off because they were both too worried about the other guy. These two, the two number 2s on the two, biggest teams, just like worried about the other number 2, and then they both went off. But for Checo to say that he pushed him off was wild. That was a fucking crazy thing to do. Also, for Checo to be unable, lap after lap after lap after lap, to not be able to pass, and he was just like, I can't pass these guys. I just can't pass these guys. And I'm just like, dude, Max did it. He tried twice. Got him the second time.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, Max was like, when should I do it? I'll wait. I'll let him he did like the rope-a-dope. He was Muhammad Ali. Let him tire himself out, and then I'll pass him now.
We were discussing the preferential treatment that Lando Norris was getting, but that that 1-2 at like lap 19 and 20 where Sainz went in to pull the undercut on Leclerc and had the 3.3 second fucking pit stop.
And then had a sexier one.
Had a 2.3 second pit stop.
Oh.
And then they came out and it was like Sainz just fucking eked him out.
Oof.
That was, I mean, there were so many little moments like that in this race. This race was filled, I mean, like the little wheel-to-wheel battles. That's what's also so great about Monza is that like it's wide and there's these straights and you can just be next to each other. Like true, pure fucking raw speed racing. But when that was all going down, I was on the fucking edge of my seat.
When they're like next to each other on one of these long straights.
Yeah.
And they're going really fast, and you know that they're approaching a chicane. It's terrifying.
Yeah, yeah.
Your heart's in your chest. Like, your heart's in, your heart's in your chest. Like, that's where it always is.
Your heart's in your left cavity of your chest.
No, I'm like, oh my God, they're about to go into one of those tight little buttholes together.
Yeah.
Where those little chicanes, those tiny little they get funneled in together. It's fucking crazy. That track is terrifying, honestly.
I love
when
that
they're too
track.
wide like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was the other way. I don't think if Leclerc was ahead, they would have done it the other way. They would have said like no fighting or stay put. I don't think they would have let Sainz go as hog wild as they let Leclerc go.
Right, yeah, sure.
They basically said Leclerc. They basically told Leclerc, use your best judgment.
Yeah. Well,
which is no judgment at all. Basically.
Well, what they said to him, they were like, that's a contradicting statement. They said to him, what was the official quote?
They said no risk
and race. They were like, no risk and race each other. It was like, okay. Like, okay. Like, so obviously Leclerc is going to, like, take what he wants. It's like, yeah, I'm going to race him hard. I'm not going to risk. Meanwhile, all four tires
It's like a Schrodinger's cat. It's a Schrodinger's cat of fucking...
So, Charles, when you heard this, what did you hear? And then Charles just goes, send it. When you heard no risk but race... What did you hear, Charles? He said, send it into turn one and flat spot all four of my tires, maybe?
That was their way of saying, like, get this girl half pregnant. It's like, what? Yeah. No. He only knows how to do, like, he can't half race, this guy. He only knows one way, which is fucking full bore. It's Max Verstappen. I mean, you're going to tell Leclerc, race, but be careful.
Yeah.
Fucking Leclerc.
Right.
Who crashes every goddamn week. He's a rich man's Grosjean, basically.
Yes.
I mean, that's Grosjean. I mean, in IndyCar, by the way, everywhere you go, there you are. He's fat. He's so fast. He's always in there. He's always in there, and then it's like, and he crashes. Fuck.
He is always doing that.
He's always, like, in there until he's out of there. And he's holding his fucking, and he's banging his head, and he's so upset. And he's like, you idiot. They're the same, honestly.
Oh.
Shit. I mean, it's no Human Centipede, but it's...
What happened with the Alpines?
They have just this really kind of is illuminating. And people have been saying this for a long time, but it really came to the fore at Monza. They just have no engine power. They have no fucking power.
Yeah.
And they fucking threw Otmar out. They're like, get the fuck out of here. But, you know, on a track like Monza, it's all about fucking power.
Right.
Straight line speed. They just don't have it. The Renault engine sucks.
Yeah.
You know, that's why Williams can compete, right? You know, because they don't need the downforce there. They don't need like some crazy aero package. They have power. They have straight line speed.
Yeah.
Not too much drag.
Yeah, Jenny said Ocon DNF'd and no one even knew. It's true.
Yeah, well, because there was so much going on. But
It was barely
by the way,
acknowledged or mentioned.
I'm constantly clocking where Gasly and Ocon are. I'm always looking. Where's that gas and Ocon?
Right. Ocon.
By the way, it's turning around for our boy.
For Gasly?
I mean, he's out qualifying him more now, and he's up in the points.
He's found his fucking footing, and he had his
his footing right on that fucking skinny neck, where it fucking belongs.
Yeah. Let's get into our awards because I think we can cover the rest of what we need to on this. Hottest moment of the day.
I usually have a hard time with this, but for me, it was definitely when Crofty came in his pants when Leclerc locked up. When Leclerc locked up at the end of that race,
yep,
he went. I wrote it. I wrote it down. He went. Oh! And then he goes, I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving this. He literally said that. He was so excited. He goes, this could go terribly for Ferrari.
Yeah.
It would be terrible. He was like, it was like, my mind is telling me no.
Yeah.
But my body. He was like, this would be so terrible if they crashed. But you could tell he was loving it.
Yeah.
I think he would have just been a puddle of cum if they crashed. Honestly.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah,
it would
we
have
said
just,
it earlier. It would have been beautiful.
Yeah. So when Leclerc locked up, did you not just when they were like, no risk, and he goes, don't worry, I got this. And he just fucking lock. You expect Sainz to lock up because that's kind of his thing, but when Leclerc locks up, it's just whoa.
That was wild. He's on some diva shit. We talked about him like endlessly on this episode, but he's on some diva shit. Like that's like you know. Anything you're told is merely a suggestion. It's like the law.
I'm not
like
opening for Carlos.
That screamed of a man who thinks that he's above the law.
He is above the law. They just signed him for $150 million.
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah. What are you gonna do if I crash out? Everyone would have fucking still loved it. Like for the Tifosi to turn on Charles. I mean, I just don't see it happening.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
He's a fucking made guy.
He's a made guy.
Carlos, he's half Spanish, right? He's not he can't be made.
Yeah. Listen, and Charles, he's from Monaco. What the fuck is that? It's basically nowhere, which means he's basically could be from anywhere. So he's basically fucking
And
down.
have you heard that beautiful boy speak Italian?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fucking made guy. Yeah. Carlos, they tell him he's going to get made, and he's Joe Pesci, and he goes, "Oh no!
Oh shit!"
They fucking shoot him in the back of the. He goes down. There's nobody there.
Yeah.
No.
No, I think it's got to be that Ferrari battle. It was all the wheel-to-wheel racing. Was all the even when Max was passing Carlos, that was also fucking sexy when they were wheel-to-wheel. I mean, Charles got Carlos.
Perez was battling. A bunch of guys were fucking battling.
Yeah. There was a lot.
Carlos
of
was
on
fucking.
Track.
Carlos was in a fucking zombie movie today. He's just fighting everybody. That was awesome. He's fighting Max, fighting Perez, fighting Leclerc. He was taking on all comers. He was fucking Tony Montana at the end of the movie. Say hello to my little friend.
Yeah, no, he was out ready. He was ready for a fucking fight today. He was so ready for a fight today that then he got his watch stolen and he chased after the fucking guys. Like the guy was like sniffing fucking bath salts, getting ready to fucking fuck some people up.
Okay, it's interesting that he went out after these thieves so insanely because I did check and my memory, it's not just slander. His grandfather was jailed for reckless endangerment of a thief.
Yeah.
In 1990, I want to say 1995, there's an article that we will link. It's in Spanish, so we had a little trouble translating. 1995, his grandfather killed a thief by accident.
A guy stole his wife's purse. he shot three gunshots in the air, and one ricocheted off of a sign and split in two and killed this guy who had stolen his wife's purse. It's Carlos Sainz's grandfather. That's fucking. That's
who
that's
recently
insane.
passed away. But yeah,
Right.
no, it's insane. Yeah. So that's fucking crazy. that's like looming over his family history. And then he's just like, let's get him. Like, you have so much to lose. Like American Apparel, like there are these stories, like you've told me this story, right? Where it's like big companies, they're like, just steal it. Like,
right.
It doesn't, the risk of something happening, trying to catch the thief is so much worse.
Right.
Than the product that you're losing, especially when you didn't pay for this watch. It was given to you.
Right.
It's insured.
Yeah, it's probably a Richard Mille watch, and the team is sponsored by Richard Mille, so it's
it's insured.
Right.
You're going to get another watch. It's some macho thing, right?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a sense of like you can't like. I mean, I guess there's the level of like if you fuck with me, you don't want to just be like, it's all good, like just rob me. Come on, come do it. It's like if you're, you want to. But ideally, you're not doing that. Ideally, you have a security team that does that for you. If you're walking around with $500,000 on your fucking wrist, it's just a stupid thing.
Yeah, here's the thing: if you're walking around with $500,000 on your wrist, you can afford to have it ripped off your wrist. So
yeah,
with that, I'm not saying it should happen, but like you shouldn't risk your hide then running after it.
Sure.
But anyway,
daddy of the day. I mean, everyone's saying, we asked the fans, everyone's saying Carlos. I mean,
I fucking I forgot about this story, and then I was like, I gotta fucking rain on his parade today, boy. Pull up some dark family history.
I'm gonna say Albon. Albon being the head of the gravy train.
Yep. Leading that human centipede. Hell yeah. I love that.
Yeah. Okay, so Karen of the day. You know who my Karen of the day is? Lando Norris saying, and the McLaren team, when they were like, all right, we're boxing to pass, right? Yeah, we're going to box to pass. And then they were like, what? You thought, like, gotcha. They thought they were being so fucking slick with that. They thought that they were going to, like, I don't know, dummy Williams into pitting.
Yeah, Williams was like, we never pit. So
yeah, our whole thing is that we don't pit.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it was also like there were 10 laps left. You think you're going to make up 25 seconds of time in 10 laps? Like, what are you talking about?
That was some George Russell shit right there. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my fucking Karen of the day.
I was thinking Lando. I was thinking Lando for another reason. I thought you were going to say, like, let me through him faster.
Well, he was faster.
Like, can I speak to the manager? We need to move this along.
He really is, like, horrible on the radio. He comes, I mean, he's horrible.
You mean when he reveals his when he hits the button and reveals his personality?
He is horrible on the fucking radio.
He also, like, sometimes he's just so moody. Like, sometimes he'll be fine on the Grill the Grid, and sometimes you see him on Grill the Grid, and I'm like, wow, he's just making everybody's time here miserable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're trying to make you look good so you're more relatable. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just, unfortunately, that's your man.
You're in too deep now.
That's your man. And I'm sticking by him. Listen, just like you with Carlos Sainz, just like you with James Vowles, we have our crosses to bear.
I can get out with James Vowles. I just started with James Vowles too.
Yeah.
Carlos Sainz, it's into. I'm pulling up Spanish articles from 1995 about how his grandfather, accidentally killed somebody.
Yeah.
And that's how deep I am.
Yeah.
Putting that shit into Google Translate.
Yeah. No, Lando on the radio is like kind of a perpetual Karen of the day. People are also saying Sergio Perez, he pushed me off. I don't think so, babe. I don't think he did.
Are you speaking? Are you talking about yourself in the third person, bro?
Yeah. Radio of the day.
It's got to be George. Has to be.
Yeah. Yeah, they were like, watch out. They're like, watch it on turn 6. He's like, I don't know if you can tell, but there's someone right up my ass, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You gotta love him. I mean, yeah, it's like that. That is a bad time to tell him about turn 6 Mercedes, while Checo is literally breathing down his fucking taint. It is not a great time to tell him about tire wear when Checo is about to fucking like destroy him.
It is really frustrating when people are telling you things and they have no idea what is going on or what you're doing. Like the other day, I was looking for a parking spot.
Yeah.
And my mom doesn't drive, doesn't know, has never looked for parking has never looked for parking in her life.
Right.
She's like, what if you did this? Or like, what if you, I was like, Mom, you don't know. She's like, so we're just sitting here? I'm like, we're by a Walgreens. Like, people will come out.
Yeah.
But we're just sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. You've never parked once in your entire life. You just sit on your phone and then like you're magically at the destination.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was the engineers telling George.
And my sister, who has echolalia, which means like she repeats everything that people say. My mom goes, this is just so stupid. And my sister goes, yeah, it's stupid. You're stupid. So like,
oh, that's beautiful.
She's like, you're stupid. You're stupid, man. And I have to squirt. So can we please park soon?
Crazy.
Just quality family time. Thank God for this race.
Yeah. Also, Max's, that was naughty. Obviously, that was a fucking great one.
You know, also was really, I want to give an honorary hot thing too. I have to say it. I've been gone too long. She was looking good past couple days. Kelly Piquet.
Oh, just being hot?
She's was really hot. Just seeing her at the race.
Yeah.
I know people don't like her family. I know she's problematic, but it's just a fact that she is hot.
You want her to like step on your balls and tell you that you've been a bad boy. Like, it's like she's mean.
If Angelina Jolie wasn't in Maleficent and we could only recast one of them from the WAGs.
Yeah, sure.
To take the Angelina Jolie spot, it's Kelly Piquet.
Yeah.
And say what you want about her as a person. She is objectively hot. It's like saying Barron Trump is tall.
Right.
It's just a fact that, that guy is 6'7".
Yeah, sure.
She is very fucking hot.
Yeah, she's got a strong nose too.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Strong nose. I just want her to step on my balls in latex and tell me that I'm a little piss pig.
And when you meet a beautiful person who just says all the right things, and you're like, that's disappointing. You're never like, oh, that's so sexy. Like everything she says or he says is
so
perfect.
measured. And
you're
awesome.
So measured in everything you think and do. I want you to fuck my brains out now. You're so kind.
Yeah.
Oh, you volunteer? You volunteer every weekend? Fuck, I just squirted.
That's hot, yeah.
I just Yes.
Yeah, sure.
You work with underserved kids? That's
It's like, no, you skin Dalmatians for your outfits? Fuck me up, dude.
Exactly. Why is that? What is wrong with us?
Sex is linked to trauma. It's just what it is. It's like what is kink? Kink is trauma turned into like an aphrodisiac. That's what kink is.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Red flag of the day.
What is red flag of the day?
I mean, Lewis fucking knocked out your boy. There was a little bit of that. Someone wrote the people write fucking crazy shit on our fucking thing. Yuki's engine, fucking red flag, didn't give our boy a chance to do his thing.
Lewis basically with Oscar. Lewis was like, I've never even heard of this guy. Like, get this guy out of my way.
Yeah, it didn't really matter for Lewis. Lewis was able to. He kept running his race. He made up the 5 seconds on Albon. He didn't suffer any consequences from that 5-second penalty.
It was, there's a great clip from Hard Knocks going around.
Yeah,
where some guy like hits Aaron Rodgers late.
Oh yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers is like, I never even heard of you.
Yeah.
And then the guy was like, I never heard of you. And Aaron Rodgers is like, bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking legend. That's Lewis Hamilton back there.
Yeah.
Playing among the fucking midfield teams.
Yeah, I think if you think that the Ferrari boys racing at the end is a red flag of the day, then you need to take a long hard look at your life and understand why you don't like fun. Because that was so fucking fun.
that was like the most alive I felt in years watching them. I was like, oh my God. It's just watching, you spend what it is? I think what it is you spend your whole life like under these systems, right? Mm-hmm. There's all these systems like beyond your control, right?
Yeah.
Where you're, whether it's your job, whether it's fucking, I don't know, the patriarchy or the government or these like big forces that are just weighing down on us all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Wealth inequality, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Capitalism, these systems that oppress us, right? That keep us in our lanes, right? And then you watch this race where this big corporation like Ferrari is like, do this thing. This $1 billion corporation are like, that puts hundreds of millions of dollars and pay these guys all this money. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, like, do this thing. And then these two hot, sexy guys are like, no. And they fucking take control of their own fucking lives and they risk it all. And it's just they're just running free.
Yeah.
And they just say they don't fucking care. And there's literally nothing that Ferrari can do. There's nothing that the man can do. And there's hundreds of thousands of people that are there that are like, what are you doing? Yeah. No! Yeah. You're going to ruin it. And then they don't fucking care. There's literally, it's like, we all wish that we could do that. That we could just say, that, when these guys, when they're off the track, they gotta like meet with sponsors. Right. They've gotta be like, "Hey, this is why I wear Puma. And this is why I drive with Shell gas." But when they're on that track,
right,
there is nothing that these guys can do to stop them. There is no system that can stop them. You have to fire a fucking Scud missile to stop them. They're unstoppable. It's amazing. It's so awesome to watch. These guys just tell their bosses to go fuck themselves at 250 miles an hour in front of the entire world.
Yeah.
Just make their bosses, make these billionaires just look like dickless fucks. You know what I'm saying? It's so awesome.
Yeah.
And if you have a problem with that, then you're a fucking landlord.
Yeah.
You're a fuck.
Yes.
You're an asshole who is part of the hall monitors of the world.
Yeah.
And they could have it could have all gone tits up. But who cares? We're not talking about storming the Capitol here. We're talking about a useless race. The stakes are so low. We get to watch anarchy happen on such a low stakes,
right?
But such a spectacular environment.
Yeah,
it's both so the stakes are both so high and low at the same time.
Right. Yeah, and they can deal with, and they can come back into the pits and deal with all their bosses with their arms crossed, like, But they just don't care because they just have the thrill of the real fucking thing. They got to experience it in real life.
In Talladega Nights, Michael Clark Duncan, the guy from Green Mile, is like, just bring the car home, Rick. And he goes, Lucius, with all due respect, I'm gonna do some driving, right? And he just,
Yeah.
right? And he just does it. He just goes out, and there's nothing and we all wish we were just that free. It's so awesome, man.
Yeah. Wow, that was beautiful. I think that's a really apt description of like what is amazing about watching that. What's amazing about watching a thing like that? That's exactly what it is. You
guys are like, you guys are watching this being like, oh, it really sucks that he didn't listen to his boss.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you fucking loser. You fucking
yeah. His
fucking teacher's
his direct report is gonna be so pissed.
Yeah. What was he thinking? For the good of the team. Shut the fuck up, you fucking narc. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, God. God bless Charles Leclerc.
Yes.
The fucking hot anarchist that doesn't pay taxes.
Yeah, just got paid $150 million. Legendary.
Yeah, he got paid $150 million and then didn't listen to them. It's amazing. Yeah. It's awesome, dude.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of which, fuck, marry, kill this podium. The real podium, not Max Verstappen, because he doesn't count. Sergio Perez, Carlos Sainz, and Charles Leclerc. I mean, Perez has got to go.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck, marry, and then kill Charles Leclerc.
Oh.
I'm going to have like a whole...
Wow.
I'm going to meet him. We're going to fuck in Vegas.
Oh, I see.
We're going to get married at that altar. And then we're going to have like, a blue like once it starts to turn, kill him. Just it's going to be like an intense couple of weeks, And then it's just going to be an old Yeller situation.
Right. Got to put him out of his misery.
Mm-hmm.
And the other guys are they're dead. You kill them. They're all dead.
Yeah, I guess I killed them all too.
Mm.
I just want to have like a, like a Lifetime movie with him,
Yeah. Right. You want to go through the whole.
I want to go through that whole
rise and fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill Checo. I'm going to marry Charles. And I'm going to fuck Carlos because Carlos is hot. Carlos is it's like Carlos goes against Ferrari as well, but not in the same way that Charles does. He's not really. Charles is going to keep me honest. I want to fucking fight the revolution with Charles. And I don't think I'm fighting any revolution with Carlos. But Carlos is great for, one night only. That's what I'm doing. Okay. We got an off week next week, but then Singapore is coming up. Any predictions for Singapore? Obviously Max is going to win.
That's a dirty little street track, huh?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I think that's big downforce.
Uh-huh.
I
think it'll be good.
I think Alonso comes to play, baby.
Good for Alonso. Alonso.
Sweaty, dirty, ass-eating. That's where ass gets eaten. Sweaty and dirty.
Uh-huh.
So I think Alonso has a shot. I think Alonso could do something special. I think he might win.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that Alonso is going to be up there, but I think that it's going to be a good track for McLaren. Actually, will it? No. They're good in high speed corners. They're not really good necessarily on low
Piastri
speed.
was talking about this. They just really didn't even because Monza is such an aberration of a track that they didn't even bring a setup for Monza. They literally just took a wing and they just clipped it.
Yeah.
They just chopped it off. So they were like, we're just going to suck at Monza. We're not even going to put any resources towards being good there.
Sure. And they still did decent.
They're really, are they good at medium speed corners or slow speed?
They're good at high speed corners, I think. That's why they were so good.
That's Monza though.
No. Monza doesn't have high speed corners. Monza's really low speed corner. Monza's high speed, but not high speed corners. All those chicanes are low
those
speed.
chicanes are slow. You're right. You're right. But they just have that one sweeper.
Yeah. But that's not even really like it's a sweeper. That's really almost like more like a straight.
That's almost like flat. Yeah. You're right. That's more like Circuit of the Americas or something.
No, I think that Alonso's going to do big things in Singapore, and I think that it'll be interesting to watch the space. We'll see now that you're fucking keyed to it. Watch if Oscar Piastri gets fucked on the fucking strategy every week. We'll keep our eyes out for it. Okay, boobies. I think that's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Until
maybe
next
Daniel
time.
Ricciardo. Oh, what do we think of Liam Lawson? He did pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're reading. For if you're not on the Patreon, first off, what the fuck are you doing with your life? If you're on the Patreon, get on it because our next episode we're going to be reviewing "Overtake My Heart," the fanfic about Daniel Ricciardo by Anita Driver.
About Thick Rick.
I've got the literal copy here. If you want to read it, you can go get it. But we're going to be talking about it.
Let's try to get it out Thursday.
Yeah, we're going to try to get it out this week. So
it's not long. So
it's not. Yeah, no, it's 35 pages. But guess what? That won't stop us from talking about it for about 2 hours. So look forward to that. Until next time, you sexy vankers.
We love you. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci,
vankers.
When the moon hits your pie like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Ciao, vankers.